I also here in this case made sure that the number doesn't show. You can also allow the number to show. If you hit show icon on only unchecked, the number will show as well. But I don't want it. And I also want to center it. Maybe make this a little bit narrow. Okay. Now I'm gonna double click on it. It just shows number. That's not what I want. When I double click on it, I want that to change into red. When I do it again to yellow, when I do it again back to green. The way you do that, you go to view code. I'm going to write a very simple code here, which I'm going to copy from my other stuff. That's going to allow it. Let me actually go to my other sheet. Just under Seeker, I have that. I want to tell Excel what to do if a cell is double clicked. Okay, I'm going to copy this. That's specific for that seeker. I'm going to make it specific for this icons. And this is icon light. That's the name of the things I have. Any cell on that selection is double clicked, this code is going to be executed. This basically said target is the thing that is selected, that is double clicked. If its intersection with that range is not nothing. So let's do this. If it is equal to -1, make it 0. Else if active cell's value equal to 0, then so if it's red, make it yellow. If it's yellow, make it green. If it's green, make it red. Every time you double click, it's going to continue. And if you create a new sheet, either if you want to do something like that in a new sheet, just come here, copy this code, paste it there, just change the name of, oh, I don't want this. Now, oops. Oh, because I didn't enter the proper name. Unfortunately, it's case sensitive. Yep. There are also 5 icon systems. You know, if it's your application where you need to go through 5 different things, just use that. But now I can use that because kind of as an indicator, you know, changing the option for something. Sometimes things are in different places. So in this case, I'm going to copy this, paste it to the rest of icon lights. They could be options for a lot of different things. So depending upon what those are, your worksheet is going to do something. That's depending upon your problem. Or you could change the, for example, this may not be a bad idea in terms of being able to communicate stuff. Edit rule. I want to delete this rule and edit this one. Done. And now I'm going to copy and paste formats only. Oops, not links, formats. Check mark, I don't know, stop, something like that. When I first started using this thing, I was teaching business stats before we had to farm that out due to lack of faculty or insufficient faculty. For example, one of the things you do in stats is p-value, right? Well, a lot of people don't get what's 0.067 p-value. I basically did a scale based on 5 bars, like your phone. 5 bar means p-value is very low, very significant. No bar, don't even think about it, it's not significant. It's kind of a ranging scale. Of course, each bar meant something. I gave it 5 bar if p-value was less than 0.5%. No bars was greater than 15%, so on and so forth. But that's a very quick way of communicating information to your audience. When you're making a presentation or writing a report, your audience may not be aware of the niceties of different p-values. You say, okay, here's a statistic, test statistic, and I'm giving it 5 bar. People dig 5 bar. People dig no bar. Okay, important, unimportant, strong, weak. By doing only little thing, we communicated a lot of information to people who may or may not know anything about the stuff. That's the beauty of software. I mean, this is software. Yes, it's trivial, but it's software. What computers programmers, software engineers call this is a low-code environment software. The user doesn't have to do any coding or very little coding. So learn these little tricks. You don't have to be an expert in complicated partial differential equation calculations in Excel. A lot of work you do in Excel is as a report. I look at a lot of Excel worksheets. I mean, I want to shoot myself if I don't know anything about that stuff because it doesn't communicate anything to me. So make sure that your work communicates itself well to uninitiated. Always assume that your boss is an idiot. 98% of the time, that is true. I mean, they don't necessarily know exact specific thing you're working on. They may have a very good grasp of the entire business, but that specific thing they may not know well. So assume that he's dumb. Show him stuff where he can't miss. This is true even in publishing papers. One of the rules when I first started grad school, I had an eventual co-author. I asked him, how do you write your introduction? He says, you write it in such a way to lead the reviewer to give the reviewer a desire to read the second page. Okay, because you submit a paper that's 40 pages long, and typically these reviewers are not paid for these things. Okay, it's a professional courtesy everybody does to each other. So I'm not going to be paid. You send me 40-page paper that is heavy with a lot of formulas and tables and mathematics. Why should I pay attention to the rest of it? If you can't get me interested in the first page, yes, because it's my job, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to start for reasons to reject it instead of reasons to accept it. Why? Because I haven't communicated what I'm doing well in the first page. Same thing here. You present a complicated worksheet to the board, to the CEO, what have you. You got to give them an incentive not to leave the meeting. Okay. Oh, this guy has done some important, interesting stuff. But if you give them a first page that has 57,000 numbers that are connected with different arrows and this and that, they're going to be lost because it may not be to you, it may be obvious. Why? Because you've done the work. You know exactly what is what and what it means. Don't ever assume that your audience knows what you know. Okay, let's stop here. On Monday, come to class having read chapters 1 and 2. I mean, we're going to talk about more on chapter 1, but we'll also touch about chapter 2, different monetary systems.